So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
Now a handoff looking right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Herbert on 3rd down now. Eluding the pressure right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Chargers 14. Saints nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
At the 32-yard line.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he'll give it here to his running back.
know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Green now on first down. Throw left side complete to Troutman. And he goes out right around the 39. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. So not a good start for this rookie quarterback, already trailing in his first half, and that's going to make things worse.
Well, back in my day, this was not unexpected out of rookie quarterbacks. That's why a lot of coaches didn't want to play them. But coming out of college now, they throw it all the time. This is a little bit unexpected, the way that he's playing here.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 21-0 our score after one. To throw on second down. Green flushed out right.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your...
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. So now, I think even our referee is confused. The defense accepted the holding penalty, but they just got the ball on the fumble recovery, so that will be negated. That's a tough one to comprehend. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
2nd and 16. And to give this time to the tailback. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to get...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And as a running back, you've got to be saying, where did he come from? He covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time, and he was able to stop his man before he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Herbert has it knocked free.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Herbert now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams.
Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit, or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone, as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
From the gun, Green. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay. Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 24 is the mic.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first half lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
35. Saints, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off near his own 48. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Get ready, get ready. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown.
Chris Godwin
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year.
And the Chargers have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone.
Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. He's still on his feet. 20. And finally, he's out of bounds. But how about that return? All the way inside the 20 and into the red zone.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
It's caught. Smith. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Back to throw. Green. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. He's at the 50. The 40. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Ball carrier tackled at the 25-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster in the first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Fights loose. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And a give this time to the tailback. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Herbert on first down now. That's taken in by the tight end, McKinney. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big play there for L.A. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. A handoff to Mixon. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the first half, but they do add 3 to their lead.
And defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the first half.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
To throw is Green. Throwing on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion. Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line.
Looking to throw. Green. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Room here to run. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 32-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Let's go, 49.
Back to throw. Green. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 16.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So they need 6 yards here on third down. They're 2 for 2 on third down tries so far on this drive. Looking to throw. Green. Flush to his right. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further.
What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggression.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Saints are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Lutz with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Saints 7. Will Lutz to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
57 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. An option handoff here to Mixon.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 38.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Chargers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Touchdown, L.A. Chris Godwin 38 yards.
And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this fourth quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more.
52, Saints 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off play action. Green. He's got a man. It's his fullback. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. A tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Running right through it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a throw here to his running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game. These type of plays are backbreakers for our defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
52, Saints 14.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.